Hello, this is Darice at Moonlight Astro. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, and if you're new, welcome. If you do like what you hear, please do remember to take a moment to like the video and also to subscribe to the channel if you've been receiving any kind of value from it. This does help me get the message out to people. What I wanted to get into today is this upcoming Jupiter Saturn square that is going to be happening on December 24th, Christmas Eve. And it harks back to August of this year. I'll get into that in a moment. But basically, Jupiter is a planet of expansion, can often represent luck and opportunity in our lives. And Saturn is about limitations. It can be about setting boundaries. And so when they're in a square, that's a tense aspect between the two. And this can create this sort of push-pull energy. It could have us have the urge to dream big about something and then immediately give us the limitations or the challenges to bringing that dream into reality. Now, this first square happened on August 19th, earlier this year. So think back, was there something in your personal life or in your business where you had a desire to expand or move forward with a bold ideal or a bold vision? And then what were the challenges or the conflicts around bringing that um, to the surface or into manifestation for you? I'm thinking of this Jupiter Saturn square as kind of a three-part story. The first part was in August 19th, December 24th is now going to be the middle. And then June 15th, 2025 is when we have the final square that takes place between Jupiter and Saturn. So was there something where you had a need for adaptability or change in August, but there was a roadblock uh, that came up at that time, and so it may resurface next week. It may not. You know it may not happen for you personally. You may just see it on the world stage. For example, August 19th was the Democratic convention. So it's entirely possible we may see unexpected developments as a result of the presidential election or even the House or Senate races in December 24th, around that week, next week. Who knows? I don't know. We might not. It's just interesting. And I think it'll be interesting too to see if there are any developments related to the November election in June next year, 2025. Who knows? We'll see. It's just, I'm curious. But in a nutshell, this square, it creates this dynamic of having to balance growth and restructuring. And this can be especially highlighted around Christmas if you do celebrate, or if you're traveling or hanging out with people who do celebrate Christmas. It'll be interesting to see what's happening next week around that. And I'm also just want to give you some tips on how to navigate all of that energy as well. Just checking my notes here real quick. Yeah, especially because this is the holidays. And I know in particular, this holiday season could be challenging. Like I said, I did mention the election. So it's possible that you may be traveling, you may already be in the space where you're going to be for Christmas Eve. Maybe there could be a sense of overwhelm, trying to get a lot of things done at the last minute, to create this great happy holiday experience with family and friends. This square in particular can lead to people overcommitting to things. Maybe people agree to take on too much of making, the holiday meal or doing the shopping or running the errands. And so there may be more than the usual tension around all of that stuff as a result of the Jupiter Saturn square. So if that does happen, be patient with yourself, be patient with others. If at all possible, add extra time to all of your activities, give yourself, an extra 10 to 15 minutes to accomplish that one errand. If you think you're going to do this one last minute pickup for a gift for somebody, it might take longer than you expect. So give yourself space to minimize those kinds of frustrations. And also, it is the holidays. Maybe you're hanging out with people who have different political beliefs, different spiritual beliefs. This is, again, another great time to practice nonviolent communication. Stay focused on your experience, I statements, maybe even to saying, if someone starts to bring up something that's confrontational or controversial, and maybe you just don't have the energy um, to stand your ground on a particular issue. Maybe you're not in a space where you want to have another argument or another fight. It's okay to say, is it okay for just 24 hours, 48 hours, just for this one holiday? Maybe we can just table it and not get into it, because a Jupiter Saturn square is just going to intensify those conflicts. It's going to make people more emotionally volatile. Um, so maybe this is not the holiday to have the confrontation. Maybe you wait till next time. It might be easier on you physically and emotionally. And also, a Jupiter Saturn square is an excellent time to delegate. So, if you have kids or other family members who don't always help out as much, don't be afraid to ask. Ask them to help them, do one of those errands or help out with part of the meal that they normally don't help out with, if that is something that feels supportive to you. If you're someone who likes to take it on and do it all yourself because you're the only one who can do it right, um, you know, maybe this is a time to reevaluate that. Maybe give yourself a little bit more space and allow someone to do it less than perfect. They may not do it as well as you would do it, but it's still one less thing that you have to do. I think it was Shonda Rhimes, her book, The Year She Said Yes. I can't remember the exact title, but that was one of the things I remember her talking about, that she learned to delegate. And her rule was that if they can do it at least half as well as I can, that's fine. Like, don't expect people to do it as well as you do, like even 80-90% as well as you do. If they can do it 50% as well, that's fine. You just gotta let it go. Because I remember in her case, I think she had to let go of a lot of her responsibilities, as a TV producer, so that she could raise her kids. She needed more quality time with them. And so, Jupiter Saturn square, I think it does help us ask ourselves, what are my priorities? What do I really want to be focused on? So give yourself permission to really figure that out. And at the end of the day, I have to remind myself of this also too, when it comes to holidays, that it's not about necessarily the holiday going a certain way, looking a certain way, feeling a certain way, being perfect in a certain way. At the end of the day, it's about me spending quality time with friends and family. Do I want to put myself in a position where I can deepen those friendships and those family relationships? Is it more important to me that it be done in a certain way? Or is it more important that I connect to the people who love me and whom I love? At the end of the day, that's what this is really about. And I'm encouraging you to use this tense energy from the Jupiter Saturn square, that if it brings up things, if you get triggered, um, if you get overwhelmed, take a breath, take a moment, and ask yourself, what do I truly value in this moment? What is really the bigger picture? What do I really want to build towards? Ultimately, I feel like a lot of the astrology of 2024 and 2025 is asking us to decide those very things. What are my values? What is the foundation I want to build and create? And so I want you to ask yourself that, not only for your business, but also for your personal life. And with that, I'm going to just wish you happy, safe travels if you are traveling this weekend. Hopefully you have fun next week for the holidays. I'm probably only going to have just a couple of videos next week, not as many as I normally do, taking a bit of a break myself, a little downtime as the year winds down. And again, wishing you all love, peace, and joy, and easefully yours, Darice.